let's be honest, a lot of the time it feels like we're just winging it when it comes to parenting, right? But what if there was a more structured way to handle things? Well, today we're going to dive into something called parent skills training. Think of it like a modern playbook designed to help families really, truly thrive.
Just take a second and think about that. What if you had an actual playbook with proven strategies for those moments that leave you feeling completely stuck or just totally overwhelmed? That's really the big idea behind what we're unpacking here today.
Because let's face it, parenting today is not what it was for our parents. The pressures are completely different, and the whole landscape of challenges has changed. So let's take a look at what we're all up against.
First up, and this is a huge one, the digital world. We're the first generation of parents who have to be tech support and content moderators and rule setters for these little screens that are on 24/7. It's this daily battle that no generation before us ever even had to think about.
And then you've got all the pressure that comes from inside the house. Just the logistics of juggling work, chores, after-school activities. It can create this constant low-level hum of stress that just seeps into the entire family dynamic.
And for so many families, there's this whole other layer of complexity. Raising kids across different cultures. You're constantly trying to navigate different values, different expectations. Really trying to figure out how to blend traditions and build a family identity that feels right.
So when you mix all of these pressures together, is it any surprise that things can kind of boil over emotionally? Learning how to manage our own stress and our own anger, and then teaching our kids how to do the same. That becomes one of the hardest but most fundamental parts of the job.
Okay, so with all these modern challenges, where are parents supposed to turn for real, actual help? This is where a new kind of structured support comes into play, one that's designed specifically for the families of today.
And that support is called parent skills training. Now, it's so important to get this. This is not about fixing something that's broken. It's about giving you the tools to build stronger relationships. The whole goal is to be proactive about building a healthy family, not just putting out fires as they pop up. So what do you actually get in a program like this? Well, the best way to think about it is like a toolkit, just filled with practical, everyday skills. So let's open it up and see what's inside.
What's really fascinating is just how comprehensive this is. It's basically built on 3 pillars. You've got your core parenting skills, behavior management, communication, the fundamentals. Then pillar 2 is household management, the practical stuff like home safety and finances that can be a massive source of stress. And finally, life skills, which are just as much for us parents as they are for the kids. Things like managing stress and just communicating better with everyone in your life.
This quote right here, it really gets to the heart of the whole philosophy. It's all about making that shift, right? Moving away from just barking commands and demands, and instead moving toward connection and positive influence. It's really the difference between just directing your kids and actually leading them.
So how does that actually work in the real world? Well, let's take a huge goal, like building your child's confidence. The training breaks it down into these really concrete, actionable steps. You can see how it's a process, kind of like gears turning. It all starts with creating respect, which then helps you build trust. And that trust is what allows you to have that positive influence. It's not magic. It's just a clear, step-by-step approach.
Okay, that all sounds great in theory, but how do you know if it's actually working? What does success really look like for a family that starts using these skills? See, success here isn't some vague idea. It's measured in real, tangible outcomes. You see it in better communication. You see it when parents feel like they're finally on the same team. And maybe the most important one of all, you see it in building that overall family resiliency, that amazing ability to bounce back from whatever life throws at you, together. So, after hearing all of this, the natural question to ask yourself is, could this be a fit for my family? And this right here is maybe the single most important takeaway. This kind of training is not an admission of failure. It's the exact opposite. It's a commitment to growth. Think about it. We do professional development for our careers all the time. This is just professional development for the most important job any of us will ever have. So let's end on this thought. Think about your own family for a second. Is there that one recurring argument, that difficult topic, that one conversation that you just wish would go differently for once? What is the one conversation you want to change? Because maybe having the right tools is the perfect place to start.